Hello, everybody. This is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And this is one of my favorite subjects of all time. How do you know that? How do you know that? And so we'll get started here just in a little bit. You can go to roberthollis.com/free and get a digital copy of my best-selling book on Amazon. In fact, it was in a number of sections, but it's basically my race to freedom, my rags to riches story. So we're going to say hi to a few people that are jumping on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. So hi, Craig. Thank you very much. Hey, Pat. How are you doing? Great to have you on here. Hey, Robert, all the way from Europe. Thank you very much, Robert, for jumping on. I really appreciate you. Wow, must be late there. 9 hours ahead. I guess it's like 10 or 11. So really, really cool. And I can see we're already in for a minute, and we'll get started. Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Hollis. I hope you're having a wonderful and blessed day. And today's title is How Do You Know That? How do you know that? So the first thing I want to share with you is, isn't it crazy that we just take things for granted? I went on AI before I started here, and there's things that I just basically asked it. I just said, hey, what are the biggest lies that we're told that are not true? And some of them are pretty obvious, but of course, Santa Claus. Sorry, Corky. That's probably why we love, Christmas every year, because it brings back those childhood memories. The Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny. How about this one? You'll spoil your eyesight if you're too close to the television. Eating carrots improves your eyesight. You swallow spiders while you sleep. Cracking your knuckles causes arthritis. You only use 10% of your brain. Goldfish have a 3-second memory span. Not true. Not true. It says you can teach a goldfish and they'll still do the trick, months from now. Chewing gum takes 7 years to digest. Shaving makes your hair grow back thicker and darker. Waiting an hour after eating before you go swimming. You can catch a cold, so always, when I'm going outside, make sure you get a jacket. Make sure you get a jacket so you don't catch a cold. Cold is a virus. You know what I mean? You don't catch it by temperature change. Reading in dim light ruins your eyesight. Different sections of your tongue are responsible for different tastes. And so I just want each and every one of you to sort of think about the things that you thought about that you really, truly believed. See, one of the things that I love is some of the most intelligent people on the planet have said that they've gotten to where they've gotten because they question everything. They question everything. So there's 2 stories that I'd like to share with you really quickly, because when you run into people that are happy, fulfilled, got great relationships, seem to be extremely intelligent and smart, seem to have a great connection with, the world and nature, they seem to have figured something out, right? So, we go into this concept, and here was my first one, right? So I worked hard, man. I was told, some of you probably still believe this, but I was told that if I went to school, got good education, and then went out and got a good job, and then worked my butt off, work hard, really hard, get there early, don't take breaks, take a short lunch, you know what I mean? Work later than everyone. That's the way to success and happiness. Not for me. So I did my research and found out that, wow, the auto mechanics made more money in California than they did everywhere else. Wow, what a great idea. So I'm going to get all my ASCs. I'm going to become a master automotive technician. I got a job. They paid for me to go out there and I'm working for Roger Penske, a multi-billionaire. And all of a sudden, I'm making more money than I've ever made in my life, but things are not changing. You know what I mean? Uh, Still don't seem to have enough money. I was blown away that everything that was out in California cost more than they did in Montana. What is with that? So you go out in California and everything costs more and everything's more expensive. So of course that maybe you get paid a bit more out there, but I still wasn't getting, making enough. So it was during that time when I was working with Roger Penske that I wanted to. How many of you, you get to a new place, you got a new group of people to work with, and my whole goal was to do my best to fit in. Do my best to fit in, and so Roger Penske always asks for ideas. Share your ideas with us of things that you heard that you think would be better for our teams. And he had 77 companies. I was blessed to work in and the Toyota division, racing division. And so all of a sudden, I felt this need that I wanted to share my info, right? And I had heard another team talk about something that they did to the car. All right. And I raised my hand. He's going, Bobby, go ahead. And I said, well, I heard these guys and they did this, and then this, and then they did this and this. And he looked at me and he said, how do you know that? And I was like, what? He says, how do you know that? And I went, I just told you, I overheard these groups of people. And he said, what if they seen you there and they were actually saying stuff that wasn't true to get us off track? I go, wow. He goes, Robert, pay attention. I'm like, yes, sir. And he's like, do you know how many people are employed by Toyota Racing Division, by Penske Racing? I said, no. He said, thousands. So let's just say that you come up with a great idea and we just all embrace it. We all just take it and do it. And what ends up happening is it ends up on a car and one of our drivers gets killed. I was like, what? And he goes, so when they die, not only did you make a woman a widow, but you also made some children, fatherless. Because of that accident and our other cars not performing, we lose our sponsorships. So all these big sponsors that put in, millions and billions of dollars, they pull their sponsorship. So because of their pulling of their sponsorship, then that means I have to shut these divisions down. And thousands of people are unemployed, not being able to provide for their family. And then a reputation that we built for years, it's gone. Now we got a bad reputation. And I can remember like this was yesterday because I was with probably about 20, 30 people. And it was like I felt like he was ripping me apart. You know what I mean? That he was just just verbally just destroying me. And I was like, wow, I never thought about that. And he goes, listen, Bobby, I didn't mean to be that rough to you, but you got to understand that things have consequences. And so you heard that information, but you should have did your research. You should have took the time to find out where it came from, where could it be possible? So when you bring an idea or a thought to another person, listen closely. When you bring a thought or an action or a saying to another group of people, that it's valuable to them. And I just went, yes, sir. And from that point on, I started questioning instead of being this person that was just throwing out things. I see people on my breakthroughs and all of my stuff, they're going, well, I use this software and I use this book and I read this book and I'm learning this from this coach. Do you have results from it? See, that should be followed up with the testimony. I use this software so I could, do a live video on all the social media platforms. And because of that, I not only signed up 13 people, but those 13 people were able to duplicate that. And now I have a group of 2,000. See, why is it that we some way in our heart, our mind, our soul, we have such a place that we want to fit in. We want to fit in. We want to be accepted. We want people to say, thank you, thanks for being a part. And so what we do is we constantly throw out thoughts and concepts that are not documented. And not only are they not documented, we don't know if they work or not. And so why are we doing this? Well, it's because everybody in the world is looking for a shortcut. Everyone. I want to make a lot of money and I don't want to work. I need a shortcut. I need a shortcut. I need a shortcut. And so now what you do is you not only have the whole world, the whole entire world that is distracted, but everyone's promoting everything and they really don't know if it gets any results or not. So that was a lesson I learned really in my mid 20s that, when all of a sudden I realized everybody said question everything. And I was like, how do I know this? How do I know this? I'm not saying to you that you shouldn't share it with people, but if you learn something new, learn it, execute it, apply it, get results from it, then share it. The difference between super successful, happy, fulfilled people is they fail more. No, they learn more lessons by things that don't work, but they don't share them with everyone just to share. And they don't share it until they apply it. They got to prove that it works. So the second story of mine is exactly the same. So here I am, all of a sudden I'm focused. I'm going to be a crew chief. Everything's going great. I'm getting a lot better at focusing on things that are working. Isn't that interesting? I got really good at asking for help. I got really good at learning and being a good apprentice. And I just worked my way up. I just knew that if I learned from people that have already done what I was doing, if they've already there, then I could learn from these people. They're documented. They got there. And so I wasn't interested in learning from anybody. Again, I learned that from Roger Penske as well. But, the phrase documentation beats conversation, not only got the patent and the trademark on that, but also have the domain. Documentation beats conversation. Go take a look at it. So, it really, really, really became a main thing that was my number one focus. Then all of a sudden I get hurt. At the time, I thought that my life was over. So I get hurt on the job. I'm trying to stop a van from landing on my tipping on the ground, and I tried to stop it, and I lost. Of course, I lost. That shows you how smart I am. And it hyperextended my knee and just ripped my knee up. So now I'm in an emergency room, and the doctor's looking at me and going, "Wow, your pants is like a tourniquet. You got internal bleeding in your knee." And he looks at me and he goes, "Oh, are you a mechanic?" And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Not anymore." My identity's gone. So now things get to a really bad place in my life, and I got no money, no electricity, lost all my relationships. I got my son's living with his mother, Terry, my wife of 40 years. She went back to Montana. It was like I'm all by myself in the dark, no electricity, and things got pretty bad, really bad. And they get really bad when you think, well, I there's no reason for me to live here anymore. And so all of a sudden, I decided, hey, I'm going to ask for help. I didn't know what was out there, but I'm saying, hey, listen, please, God, help me. Help me. I'm listening. You got my attention. And all of a sudden, like in my book, Sean, reached out to me, a guy I met a few times. And he said, listen, I met this guy that's making $62,000 a month. And he's expanding a company and he's looking for people that want to learn from him. No experience necessary. And if you apply yourself, you could make, six figures your first year. And I went, me. So I went and met him. And now he's sharing a bunch of other stuff with me I've never heard of. So how do you know that? And he goes, Robert, what's your goal? And I said, I still want to rehab my knee. I've had 2 surgeries on it. I want to be a crew chief. That's what I want to be. And he goes, that's funny. I wanted to be a doctor. I went, what? He said, yeah, but I ran into a mentor and he shared this with me. And he said, why don't you go to 10 people that have already achieved that position? So, do you know crew chiefs? I do know crew chiefs. He goes, why don't you go to crew chiefs that have already gotten there, some that have been there for a while, maybe some new ones, and ask them if they had to do it all over again? If they had to do it all over again, would they do it? And I said, you know what? I'll do that. And every crew chief that I talked to said, no, no, I can't believe that, this is where I thought I needed to do and work my way through the ladder and becoming a floor sweeper to working at garages, being a fabricator or an engine builder or a welder or whatever, and that I could move myself all the way to being a crew chief. Now that I'm here, I never see my family. It doesn't pay as much as I thought it would. I'm the sole person that's responsible whether or not the team wins. So it's just like a coach for a professional, any kind of sports team. As soon as the team's not winning and not getting into the championship or the finals, then you're fired. And he goes, where do you go from there? You worked your whole life up to get to here and then not there. And I shared that with my mentor, and he said the same with doctors, man. I talked to doctors, and most of them got involved because they wanted to help other people. And then they got stuck in this machine where you can't spend quality time with the patients. They just run them through very quick. And all you're doing is subscribing stuff, call me in the morning. And, it was like all of a sudden the insurance that they have to have and all this stuff. It was like, no. And I thought, wow. And he goes, so that was another change of mine, right? So took away my dream and my focus immediately. And he goes, Robert, why would you want to be a crew chief? And I was going like, listen, it pays good money. He goes, what do you need money for? And I'm like, come on, you're being stupid now. You know what I mean? He goes, no, honestly. Oh, I need money for, food and roof over my head, my family's head. I need transportation. I need insurance. I got to pay bills like electricity and stuff. And he's going, who told you? Who told you that the way to make money was by getting a job? I was like, what the hell are you talking about? He goes, Robert, the most successful people on the planet don't have jobs. If you want to make money, then learn to make money. Don't trade your time for money. I was like, what the hell is this guy talking about? So like any mentor, like Yoda or whatever, you get these people that all of a sudden they change your paradigm. They change your thinking because what you thought that you believed your whole life isn't so. So if there's things that you don't know that are not true, but you believe in them and you're still doing them, when would you like to know the truth? So I all of a sudden learned this other thing from him. It was like this 30-30-30 thing. I call it a third, right? That there's this group of people out there that are just always going to be out there. They're not interested in learning anymore. They're not interested in knowing anything. But then there's this other third of people, right? that they sort of know, they just don't want to know, right? So they're conformists, they're followers, they're in their comfort zone. They're just not interested in growing. And then there's this other group of people that might know it, but they don't do it. So when you hear in the wealthiest country in the world, right, that there's only 5% of the people that make over 200,000. Now, I know what some of you are saying. You're saying money doesn't buy happiness. Well, neither does poverty. And listen closely, who told you you had to pick between things? You could be happy and be with your family, or you could be wealthy. Who told us that it's hard? Who told us that you had to be smart? Who told us that you have to have money to make money? What if all this stuff is just not true? And I can prove to you it's not true. So as my mentor started breaking all these limited beliefs in my mind, then all of a sudden it was like, well, how does that work? How does that work? Do you know, Robert, that people actually make money without even working? Yeah. Jennifer Aniston, well, I watched a show last night. If you should watch it, called Air. You know what I mean? The story about Nike and Michael Jordan. And his mom in the contract said he needs to have a percent. He needs to have a percent of every shoe sold. And they went, okay. So now the company sells $4 billion worth of Jordan Air shoes, and Michael Jordan makes $400 million a year. Michael Jordan's worth $2 billion. Now, did he put all the work and effort in to become a basketball player that was sought after for the shoe? Yes. But people are still buying Jordan Air shoes, and he's still making money. See, that's called residual. That's called leverage. And so I didn't even know what this stuff was. Then all of a sudden he said to me, listen, what if I could share with you where if you teach other people how to become free, that if they just believe it and they start supplementing, double and replace their income, that you will earn off their efforts. I go, I've never heard of this. And it's like J. Paul Getty, Rockefeller. These people said, I'd rather make 1% off 100 people's efforts than doing 100% of my own efforts. So wait a minute. You can make a lot of money and not work hard? Yeah. You can make money 24 hours a day? Yeah. Tell me what you're doing. And I love that statement. It's so easy to be successful in the world because no one else is trying. Why is no one else trying? Because they grew up around all this BS. It's like, well, you got to be smart. You got to have a degree in business to make money. You got to have a degree in finance. No. Well, I don't want to work hard. See, making money equates to working longer hours. And family is more important to me. And happiness is more important to me. So I don't want to work that hard, that many hours, and have no life. Not true. I don't want to be a salesman. Don't have to be. I'm not going door to door. Don't have to. I've heard of these things. Oh, really? From other people that haven't made any money or applied themselves? There's a lot of people that don't make money in basketball. There's a lot of people that don't make money in football. There's a lot of people that don't make money in music. A lot of people that don't make money in being an actor. But there's a percentage of people that do. So if only 5% of the people make 200 grand a year, why not find out what those 5% are doing that don't have a job, that don't have a job and learn from them. And when you find out that they say, you know what? This is really simple. This is easy. You can do it. And that's what my mentor said to me. I went, okay, just tell me what to do. Now, all of a sudden, I see documentation of his check, documentation of other people's checks. And now I'm only interested in learning that. I haven't had a job for 36 years. My wife hasn't had a job 30, maybe 40 years. How can you make millions of dollars a year and not have a job? First, stop listening to two people. Stop listening to your stupid thoughts that have gotten to you to where you are right now. Did I say stupid thoughts? If it's stopping you from happiness and freedom, great relationships, traveling the world, and giving to others, then they're stupid thoughts. They're stupid thoughts. There's people out there that go, I giving to other people, that doesn't work. Not for you. And don't listen to people that are not doing what you want to do. Your very first thing that you should do when people reach out to you, hey, you should do this. Hey, you should. Well, let me see your back office. Let me see your online banking. Let me see it. I post mine online. You can go to my YouTube channel, put in steps to success and freedom. I tell you, I show you exactly what I do. So, how many other things are you doing? How many things are you doing that's, first of all, you don't like doing them? So if you don't like doing them and you don't get results from them, then you probably procrastinate. And then when you don't do the things because you don't see any results, then your business doesn't build. Why would it? Why would it? If someone didn't take the second to show you, and I said second, to show you what to do so that you get a result, so you go, wait a minute, this works. It goes from victory to victory to victory to victory. So some people think the way that you show people how to do something is by training them. No, you show them. You show them. That's what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow. You show them. If you're going to learn martial arts, you show them. If you're going to be a mechanic, you show them. If you're going to be a cook, you show them. If you're going to be a dancer, you show them. Hey, take these couple of steps. Hey, take these couple of steps. Good, good. Let's do them again. Let's do them again. It's how you learn how to drive a car. So there's some people out there that don't know how to show someone because they're doing the wrong things. And so what they do is they plug people into other people's trainings, hoping that they're hope marketing. We call it wish marketing. I hope something happens. Oh, I wish something would happen. No, that's not the way it works. If you find documented people that are willing to share their documentation with you, like on Documentation Beats Conversation, they're willing to show you. And then they're willing to show you that they've taught other people that have also become successful. I've been blessed to teach millions of people in the last 36 years. So I can show you how to do it, but first I got to get your stinking thinking right. Because if you already believe that you know what I do and you tried it before and it didn't work, how can you teach someone that already knows everything anything? Just a thought. So I love and appreciate you. If no one's ever given you permission to succeed and be fulfilled in your life, let me be the first. My mentors did it for me. I'm consistently always looking to people that have done better than me and made a bigger impact than me. You're at 61 now. It's not about money. It's about how many people can I impact. So I love and appreciate you. Please do me a huge personal favor. Share this video with people that you think that it would help. And also you can see on this page, we have the community page set up now. We're doing one-on-ones and also breakthroughs for people that have limiting beliefs. And also, if this video has done anything for you, I support a number of charities. And if you click the donation button, I'll make sure that money gets to those charities. You can see the ones that I support on documentationbeatsconversation.com. Take care, love and appreciate you, and have a blessed day. We'll see you on the next video.